Driver's Seat is presented by Ray Reese Volkswagen and Portland's Hyundai. Portland's #1 VW dealer and Portland's newest Hyundai dealer. Now let's climb into the driver's seat on Miles Around Television.
In our driver's seat, it's the 2008 Dodge Calibar SRT4. Now, the Calibar has been around for a couple of years. This car replaced the Dodge Neon and is made on the same lines as the Jeep Compass and the Jeep Patriot. But the SRT4 is not just another Calibar with a body kit on it. All the intakes are functional and the car has performance.
You know what, you're right, Nick. The thing about the SRT4 Calibar is the fact that it blends so much usability with performance. The little turbocharged engine that could, that's what we're going to call it. 285 horsepower, but it doesn't just start with performance, it ends with performance. We have to look at the inside. Look at the fact that you can get 4 full-size adults in this vehicle as well as a load of groceries. Then you look at the things like the stereo with the flip-down speaker in the back. It's all a complete package. But first, let's start under the hood.
So we have the hood open of the 2008 Dodge Calibar SRT4. We have a 4-cylinder underneath there. We have a 2.4 liter. We're going to slap a turbo on. What do we got?
We got 285 horsepower and 265 foot-pounds of torque driving through a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, I had a chance to drive the Calibar SRT4 at its launch in Indianapolis, and let me tell you this, from personal experience on the racetrack, it is a fantastic car to drive. It goes to the old adage of race on Sunday, sell on Monday. This car can do it for Dodge. It's a complete package. When you're on the track, the car has complete control, and whether or not you're pitching it into a corner or just trying to go 161 miles an hour, by the way, no speed limiter on this car, this car will make it a fantastic ride. Now, this is the best part. You load in the family, you load in the car seat, you load in the groceries on Monday, and you can drive it to work. When it comes to styling, the Calibar SRT4 has it down right. Big aggressive front air dam, actually a functional air scoop, and everything that makes the car look mean. You can even see the intercooler behind the grille. Now that's what distincts this car away from its competitors. It's really aggressive, hard lines, big shapes, nice front fender flares. It makes the car look aggressive. Why? Because it is.
I've been practicing. The Calibar is silver, the calipers are red. In fact, they're painted a Dodge red color, which goes nicely with the car. Everything on this car has function and form. For instance, the moldings on and around the doors actually are there for aerodynamics. The rear end is very aerodynamic. These sills here are there for a reason, to make this car go fast as well as to look good. Dodge had an idea. They wanted to put a car on the road that you'd recognize, that looks good, and also has speed, motility, and function. I think they've done it with the body styling of this vehicle.
Before we get to the front seat of the SRT4, we got to talk about the utilitarianism of the back seat. 18.5 feet of cubic space with a seat up, almost 48 with it down. I got to tell you this, with that little speaker and the flashlight in the back, it also makes for a great block party vehicle. But now let's jump in the front.
In the driver's seat of the 2008 Dodge Calibar SRT4, everything is simple but functional. In the center, you have an iPod cradle to put your iPod in when traveling, and I like that feature. It allows you to turn corners at high speed and that iPod doesn't go skidding across the dash. You have your HVAC controls right above your gear shifter, along with your stereo. On the left-hand side, you have your boost control meter, electric windows, and what I like to call blind controls on the back of the steering wheel to control your stereo.
A couple of things that we need to make sure and mention are the front bucket seats and the storage system in the front. The bucket seats are great. Not only are they comfortable, but they also cradle you like a race seat when you're in the corners. Now, when it comes to storage, Dodge got this one right. You have a small storage containment center up on top for small things like maybe sunglasses or that iPod Nick talked about, but also down below where you got a place for water or anything you want to keep cool in the storage containment center that's also a refrigerator.
We've spent some time looking around the 2008 Dodge Caliber SRT4. Dennis, 2 ups and 1 down?
Well, if I could make it one word, Nick, I'd say fun, but that's a complex word. And when you're talking about the SRT4, it's complex. It's fun to drive, it's fun to sit in, it's fun to look at, but it's also functionality-wise one of the best cars out there. When you're talking about the ability to put your gear, your stowage equipment in the back and being able to do that and drive at the racetrack, how can you go wrong? The other is going to be, well, the driving position goes along with all that. Am I down? Well, if Herb, and you know who you are from Chrysler SRT division, would just tell me they were going to come out with a 375 horsepower version, then I'd be real happy. But for now, it's because they haven't come out with that Stage 3 like they did with the Neon yet.
Let me tell you about my 2 ups and 1 down for this vehicle. First of all, it's functional. Everything on this car actually has a purpose. They didn't just take a Dodge Caliber and actually stick loads of plastic on it, so it looked good. Things on this car work, and they work well, and it's a great drive. My second up for this vehicle is the styling. When you go down the road in this, you get a lot of looks. The car was well styled and functionally styled, so those two really marry together. My down for this vehicle is something that Chrysler has a problem throughout their line with, and that is the interior materials tend to be kind of weak and not well molded together. And when I say not well molded together, the plastics and the rubber and the aluminum brushed stuff inside doesn't really fit. It feels out of place, and I think they could do a better job with that. But overall, I think it's a big thumbs up.
Heck, I thought you were just going to complain about no Bluetooth. That's our review of the 2008 Dodge Caliber SRT4. The 2008 Dodge Caliber SRT4 comes standard with a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and a 6-speed manual transmission. The base price is $22,435 with an as-tested price of $24,360. The city mile per gallon rating for 2008 is 22, and the highway mile per gallon rating is 28.
The driver's seat is brought to you by Ray Reese Volkswagen, family owned and specializing in Volkswagens for over 15 years, and proudly presenting the all-new Portland Hyundai. Check them out at rayreese.com.